going. So it should take about a minute. Hello, everybody. I'm Kurt Roskopf. Thank you for watching and listening. We're on the World of Ability Podcast Network, and we've got one of our newer shows, The World of Wealth, here today. And we've got Coach K for you, and we're going to dive into some financial offerings and some things to serve your goals, the things you do with your money, and some opportunities to maybe get more out of your financial resources. So we're here with Coach K, and he's going to bring us some presentations to talk about, your life, your legacy, your business. And, through this show, we're going to cover multiple facets that you can make sure you have a complete financial plan and considering everything to your goals on the money that you want to have ready when you need it. So Coach K, come on in here and share with us the fine work you do and what you have for our audience today on the financial front. We're looking forward to it.
Hello and welcome everybody to the show. Welcome to the World of Wealth here in Wisconsin. I'm Coach K sitting here with Kurt this time, and I'm excited to be here as always. They don't give me a whole lot of time, so let's just dive right into it if that's all right with you. Last time we were talking about this theory that our team considers the theory of once. Once being the acronym for own nothing, control everything. Now, all of that is important when you think about how wealthy people, and what we're hoping to do is show everyone that anyone should follow that same pattern. Because if the Rockefellers thought it was important, well, there's still over 200 family members receiving benefit because of the theory of passing on generational wealth to those that we love. All right, so let's get into it. Let's grab a piece of paper and a pen wherever you are. If you're driving, you can't do that. But I want to introduce the videos that we talked about last time, because the first question is always, what is your plan? What do you have right now? So we're going to start with that question. What's your plan?
So I'm going to ask you a question that you've probably never been asked before, and that is, which plan do you have? The government's plan or your own plan? Now, consider yourself amongst the top 5% of the people in this country. What do you mean by everybody has a plan? That's correct. Everybody has a plan. It's either the government's plan or it's your plan. Well, now, what's the government's plan? The government's plan is the state probate court process, which handles the settlement of your estate when you pass away. Or the other plan would be your custom plan, where you handle it, where it's done your way, in the way that you want it, on your timetable, to go to who you want to get it and when you want to get it, as compared to the government state probate court process. Now, there's some very negative consequences to the state probate court process that you bypass when you have your own custom plan. I highly encourage you that if you don't know, and absolutely know that you know, the benefits of having your own plan versus having the government's plan of probate, then you need to find out. And one of our professionals is the perfect person to help you get the answer to that question. Once you know, then I would be shocked if you chose the government's plan. There's no contest. This is the easiest decision you will ever make once you get the facts. Get the facts sooner versus later. We don't know what tomorrow holds. Do it.
So to that end, Kurt, I asked the question. I'll ask you first. What do you know about the difference between a will and a living trust?
A will and a living trust. A will to me is when you are preparing to transfer your assets and whatever be able to be dispersed in terms of, land, possessions, and, your sometimes people in their wills put, other messages, but your will is there to just say everything that you've had in your life and who you want to have take your stuff and take over what you have. So when you say um, a living
Well, let's put a
trust, I'm
pin in
trying to
that for a
remember
moment.
it. It
Let's
sounds,
let's put a pin in that for a moment. Hold
yeah.
on, hold on. I think what I heard you say was, I, Kurt Roskopf, being of sound mind and body, I leave all my worldly goods to who?
Let's say my wife Sue.
All right. So if anyone other than Sue wants some of your possessions, how do you stop them? What if they
You,
file something in court and says, but Kurt said he was leaving me all of the equipment from the show. Now you
if
got to
they
go to court.
Yeah, so if they go to court and they don't have anything to back up that hearsay testimony, I would expect the court would back up the will and say, well, we have to go off of the will of, provided by Kurt Roskopf. It's an official legal document that Sue Roskopf, gets his belongings, right?
Absolutely. But you just kind of said exactly the fact. You will go to court. You will end up in probate.
Yeah.
Now, let me share with you the difference. You're at your desk. Grab a piece of paper. I'm going to show you the difference. All right. Draw a big box on the piece of paper. I'm just doing this for you. And as the listeners hear this, the difference between the will, it's a piece of paper, and the
Just see
trust
the sticky note.
is the equivalent of a big box. So I, Kurt Roskopf, being of sound mind and body, have this will that tells everything I will have, everything I own, go in this big box. The difference is I can put possessions in the box.
Yeah.
So now, with that, I am owning nothing, controlling everything. I am moving my possession, that called my home, into the box. I'm titling my money at my bank and other financial institutions, retirement accounts, and such. Rather than Sue, I'm referencing the box. My life insurance will reference the box. All my retirement planning references the box, because if everything goes into the box, including ownership of my business, including ownership of my other real estate other than my home, it's all in the box. Now I'm going to show you the difference. In the box also is, show me that pink pad again. What does
I
it
got the
say?
will.
Yeah, your will is in the box as well.
Yeah.
So I don't need the judge to tell me what will happen with all of my stuff. I already know it's going to happen. It's in my box. The judge doesn't control my box. Does that make sense? And if there's a question about that, ask me now.
Well, that's where it seems very important that, like when I say I'm leaving this for my wife Sue, that my wife Sue has my will in good keeping, that she can provide that when she goes to the probate to protect that she is getting all of my things, right?
That's another important part about working with our team, is that what if you don't have that piece of paper or you forgot where it was? or the storms that happen, it's lost. Your entire storm box is lost.
Right.
Then what? Well, we have a provision with what we're offering families is we'll keep it safe for you in the cloud. So once we work to build the box, the execution of that is the first step. Then we start loading your possessions inside of the box. That's the process of actually funding your trust. And that's a key component, Kurt. I can't tell you the countless numbers of times that people have gone to the time and expense of building a revocable living trust and just, I don't know how you fail to put your assets in it. And this inside the box execution, this word picture that I'm painting for all your listeners, I want you to understand if it's not inside your box, it will go to probate. Does that make sense?
Yes, it does.
What questions do you have about keeping your assets, your time, your passion, your even all of your intellectual property that you have? What's your desire for that, and how do you pass it along to keep your legacy going?
Well, I guess, since you're talking to, living trust, and it's revocable, can you speak a little bit to while you're alive? Like if you have, everything described in your living trust, a revocable living trust, you know, what are the practicalities of that? Like, why do you do a revocable versus an irrevocable,
Hmm.
living trust and stuff like that? I mean, what practically is available to you while you're alive if you have stuff in the trust?
Oh my gosh, that's such a key point is revocable, irrevocable. Let me start right there. But let me do this. Just like last time, I've got support on the line. Um, I have the ability to describe that which is, if it's irrevocable, I cannot change it. If I put my custom car in the name of my oldest son, and it's an irrevocable transfer, I will never get it back. Or it would be arguably very litigious trying to get it back. Time, money, and emotional frustrations within the same family can happen because of all kinds of decisions. And if you cannot change that decision, that's irrevocable. Now, the fun part about revocable is this. I put everything in there. I say, hey, I'm going to leave everything to my cat. And I do that because I just want to get my kids a little disruptive and say, hey, what are you doing, Dad? Oh, don't worry. January 1st, I'm going to revoke what I said. And I'm actually going to give the stuff to my children. I have four, two boys, two girls. I want them to receive the benefit of all of my hard work without me being concerned about anything that the cross above my head. It helps me while I'm alive. I don't have to die for my trust documents to help me. What if I'm in a car accident and I'm in a coma? Who handles my stuff? All those healthcare directives, who's the advocate? The question of Joe and Barbara being together for 15 years, they have three kids. They've never married. If Joe is in a car accident, she shows up at the hospital. She's not his wife. There are laws, HIPAA laws, that we are mandated not to break when it comes to your health information. All practitioners in the healthcare industry know that the HIPAA violations is very, very costly. So if they just had a healthcare directive document that said, if anything happens to me, talk to her. Anything happens to me, talk to him. Signed, notarized, 2 witnesses, show up at the hospital now. Oh my gosh, how's he doing? Here's who I am. Now they have the ability to share the information about his condition. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it does make sense. And, when we get to talking about these things, if someone is not real familiar with how to complete the process, I know you can assure people it's not as tough of a task as it seems because you have templates and you have,
Oh, more than
per-
that, more than that. See this right here
yeah,
across. I want to help you. See this right here? The gavel. I want you to avoid the gavel about your house and your other possessions. For those of you that are on the radio and not visually watching this, our logo basically shows you we're the hand that protects you and your assets. Now, where you were going with our ability to help. Here's what I like to do. I'm going to give a gift. I've invited the founder. Just like last time, everything I do as Coach K is for you. Last time I asked you to support one of the folks and organizations that I really care about, Envision Youth Services. Now, Kurt, since that time, they and I have partnered in a way that I'd like you to put something on the screen. We have a gift from Envision Youth Services. And as you put that on the screen for me, thank you. I'd like to introduce to some. Welcome back to those that were here last time. And just encourage you to just do what I love to do, is listen. And you'll see why we're asking for your support right now before the end of the year for Envision Youth Services because of what they're doing in communities just like yours. And she'll tell you all about this gift in front of you. This is Camila from Envision Youth Services, and I'll mute myself.
Good morning, and happy holidays to everyone. Thank you for having us. It's so important that we teach our families, how to protect their legacy. That's super important to us. My name is Camila, founder of Envision Youth Services. This organization is a nonprofit organization that services underserved youth throughout LA County. Our major focus is mental health, and we have been serving families for over 15 years within the county. Not sure if you guys know, 1 in 5 youth suffer from mental health challenges and don't have a voice to be able to speak about some of the traumas that they've experienced. About 25% of youth battle depression and trauma that they've gone through. So our biggest mission is to be able to service our underserved youth, with mental health being the core of everything that we do. And we are excited to have joined forces with Coach K, so that way we can bring resources to our families. A lot of underserved communities have a lack of resources. So I'm excited and I'm learning throughout the process. So thank you for having us.
yeah, absolutely, Camilla. So when you talk about this realm of mental health, can you speak to the experience it is in the community? And, I imagine a lot of folks turn to government agencies. So can you describe how nonprofit works with government offices and how you all team up, to address this issue? And they love you being at the table because folks that work in the government side of this, they know that there's unmet needs and you're doing stuff that the government office is not suited to do. They don't have the resources to do what you're doing, and that's the role you play. Can you describe that?
Yes, absolutely. And so, as far as we are concerned, our main goal is to be able to join forces and work with a lot of these agencies who have experience dealing with the youth that are battling trauma. So, for in our standpoint, we go out to the communities and we service them where they're at. But our organization has been working in the middle schools and high schools throughout LA County for over the past 8 years. And so we go in on the campuses and we deal with a lot of the administration and a lot of the students there on the campus to provide that support. So a lot of schools, even though they have counselors, they're outnumbered. So for the amount of youth that actually need that individualized attention, you really don't see it because maybe there's a funding issue or maybe they don't have enough teachers assistants, things of that support. So we go in to be that added support.
All right. So, how are things going for Envision Youth Services? I mean, what's the opportunity there? I mean, there's like a laundry list of things that volunteers could do, or is it mostly that you have a program that the more it's funded, that you're just able to serve more youth with, money coming in available to pay for deploying this to the youth that need this, or there's a big need of people to join your volunteer team? How does that all look?
You know what? Everything you said is absolutely correct. Every
Okay.
nonprofit loves volunteers.
Okay.
Why? Because you don't pay out, you don't have to pay out of pocket, in giving back. So that's always a plus. People that have the right passion and the right heart and really want to give back. I always encourage folks, regardless to what field you are in your career field, is to find a local organization within the community that is out there doing the work day in and day out, to be able to support them. Currently, Envision Youth Services is seeking funding so that way we can service more youth. Our target areas where we are currently servicing youth are Los Angeles, Long Beach, and also the city of Compton, which all of these cities specifically have a large amount of youth dealing with trauma. And so that is our biggest thing. With being able to have the funding, we're able to service more. We're able to bring in mental health professionals for personal or private one-on-one therapy sessions. We're able to provide program materials and supplies to the youth. Everything that we do not charge our families for. So we could only imagine how that could be a barrier. Nonprofits normally survive off of grants, so we're continuously seeking funding as far as grants are concerned. But sponsorships and donations are definitely key.
Yeah, absolutely. So what Coach K is doing here in this whole organization, I'm going to bring it up again, folks. So even if you're not thinking that right away why you're grabbing this QR code and going to this web page and taking a look at what this gift is by Envision Youth Services for all of you out there, definitely take it and make it a little thing of spreading the wealth. This is a great calling card that with you watching, listening to today's show, grab this QR code, get it on your phone, and let people know that you watched this today, that you heard about Envision Youth Services, and just ask people to check it out. Just keep spreading this out because marketing is a big boost for nonprofits. If we all
Yes.
play a role in the community, everybody that we touch, if you just get this out there to more touches, share out to 5 to 10 other people, or if you can do more, get this out there because this obviously is a program. This is part of the strategy that Envision Youth Services is putting out there to say, let's give this gift. Let's take care of people. We're here to help. Let's give this resource out there. And then at the same time, You're creating a big track record for Envision Youth Services that Coach K and the business behind this can help support the future of our youth. And that's what it's
Yeah.
all about. Right, Coach K?
Absolutely. Thank you very much for that, Kurt, because I mean, in the bigger picture, we're looking at the holistic approach to families. We know that the dynamics in families center around money. At one point or another, it comes back to money. So what we want to do, just like last time, we start by helping families do good. We meet them right where they are. We are where listening is the difference. We're coming in to listen first,
Yes.
to give them that safe space where they can feel comfortable sharing with us and our team what's going on. We're here to help.
Yeah.
Now that we've listened, we're looking to say, and in my role as a board member, I'm looking at everything's all financial. How do I get money to the organizations? How do I help families manage their money? How do we help them arrange their resources? How do we protect them now and ensure their legacy can continue by passing along their hard work to their loved ones of their choice without the corporate administration required by probate? So here's the ask, here's the gift. The QR code right now, today is the 19th when this was recorded. We're giving you a 10-day free trial of our asset protection estate planning. We're going to be half the cost of anywhere you check. We'll be here to update along the way with you. And if you think about people using TurboTax to do taxes themselves or online platforms like that, we're here to introduce you to one to get you started, to take action right now. You can start right now. We don't want the cost to be the reason. That's why we're half the price. If that price is a little difficult, contact us anyway. We'll work with you. We want you to close this year out knowing you are working on your world of wealth. I'm Coach K for you, and that's it. We just got to get into it and get right back to it because, they don't give me a whole lot of time. Hey, Kurt, I'm going to turn it back to you and say thank you for inviting us to the show again. I do want to say happy holidays to everyone listening and those of you that are watching here. Thank you for listening to our message. It's everything that I do as Coach K. It's for you and others just like you. Thank you again. Happy holidays and everyone stay safe. Kurt, back to you.
All right. Thanks, Coach K. Thanks, Camilla, and all the great work everybody's doing there.
Thank you, guys.
Yep, absolutely. So Envision Youth Services, great worthy cause. If we're not doing it for the kids, then what are we doing? So I'm Kurt Roskopf, and so here with Coach K. Some people call me Special K. So you can decide, do you want Coach K or Special K? If you have any questions about today's show, you can feel free to call and text me. My phone number is 262-372-1754. You can reach me on the email side, Kurt, K-U-R-T, at spiritofthegame.org. And we give great thanks to the support we have here at the World Ability Podcast Network and all this impact work. That's the business of Spirit of the Game Foundation, is we help people like Camilla and all the folks at Envision Youth Services make their impact. And we celebrate what businesses do, like the program Coach K brought forward today. And we really do hope you do share this podcast, this show, this video, and also the QR code. But for sure, if you share the video, the QR code is coming along with it. So thanks for everything you guys do out there. Thanks for the impact you make. And thanks for being you. So until next time, we're here for you. We're producing the show anyway, every first and third Thursday. Wow. WOW, World of Wealth. Until next time, have a great holiday.